On today's episode of EBT Meltdowns, we watch them snap. See what I did there?
Because of the government shutdown, now I can't get my stamps for next month. How am I feed my 7 kids? I have 7 different baby daddies, and none of them no good for me. It's the taxpayers' jobs to make sure this happens. So taxpayers, y'all out there, I need y'all to make this happen next month.
So when I first seen this, I was like, it's got to be satire. A woman says she has 7 kids, 7 baby daddies, and the taxpayer should feed them. Then I thought to myself, 7 kids, 7 dads, and 0 accountability. Bro, at this point, she's collecting fathers like infinity stones. Then CNN tried to act like they just discovered why people are so mad.
Should the Democratic senators from New Mexico, your home state, vote to open the government so that these SNAP funds are not at risk?
Let me be clear. The administration is choosing to starve American children with money that they already have appropriated.
I'm not applauding their tactics.
By the White House.
Well,
this is a choice by the White House.
This is also, Congresswoman, this is also a choice by Senate Democrats to not vote to open the government. Yes, it is. I understand why they're doing it. They're doing it because they want Medicaid funds restored. They're doing it because they want Obamacare premiums to be extended past the end of the year. I understand the reasoning.
Sir, let me just be clear. The money for contingency plans is sitting there. That is why the states are suing. The White House is withholding funds from
2 to 3 weeks worth of
SNAP
funds.
Food.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it may not be a big deal to you, but let me tell you that for the grandparents, for grandparents that literally are feeding their children,
my point is that it's a short-term solution.
In those accounts,
it's a short-term.
At the end of the day, people need to be able to feed their families, and Saturday is when those funds run out.
So strongly,
we are fighting,
Congresswoman,
to get
why
that
not
funding.
ask the Senate Democrats from New Mexico to vote to open the government so that the SNAP funds...
Sir, I am here in the House of Representatives. It is shut down. I am fighting to get the government reopened. I am fighting to get funding put back into SNAP that is already existent, and I am fighting for the American people. I am here. But show me a single Republican that is here. Not a single one is here to make sure that Americans are fed on Saturday. That is why I am here.
Democratic Congresswoman Melanie Stansbury from New Mexico.
Yeah, as this post suggests, when Democrats have lost CNN, they've lost the fight. My boy Jake Tapper was over there fighting the urge to say, ma'am, just say you don't know. Every time politicians talk about feeding kids, I hear, we'll circle back after lunch. Meanwhile, TikTok's over here talking like they run the USDA up in this thing.
You know how many people I've seen sell food stamps to get their hair done, nails done, their toes done, buy an outfit to go to the club, drugs? A lot. If I've seen it, other people seen it. You know what? That's why people don't give 2 fucks. I've seen people, women, get a new man. The man got the food stamp. Now, the food stamp is for her and her kids. The man has the food stamp card and he in the grocery store buying shit that he wants. People see that shit. You know what? They don't give 2 fucks. You know, some kids go to school and get breakfast and lunch, no dinner, because mama done sold the food stamps for shit that she wanted. Dumb people don't give 2 fucks. And people are saying, well, what about my kids? Well, yeah, what about your kids when you had the food stamps? They're selling them. What did you think about your children then? The fucked up shit that people do, people see that. So now people are like, I don't care. Life is about to start life for a lot of people. But don't get mad when people don't give 2 fucks. Because we see so many people out there abusing that shit that they be like, I don't give a shit. You know, what about my kids? What about your kids? When you was out there doing that fucked up shit with them food stamps, what about your kids then?
You remind me of every last one of my aunties. This woman says people sell food stamps for nails, hair, clothes, and everything in between, man. I mean, I've grown up. I've seen it. I have some not so proud moments in my life, with my mom. Look, I ain't trying to snitch on your mom or nothing like that, but we grow up. We grow up. I've grown up. But, what she was saying, she's not lying, though. Some of y'all treat EBT like store credit at Fashion Nova. Is eating ramen while y'all get acrylics longer than the receipts. Now, this next lady decided Thanksgiving itself was the problem.
Everybody talking about, oh, they cut the link in time for Thanksgiving. Who cares about Thanksgiving? They cut the link. They cut the link. No one cares about this pagan holiday. Why do we keep tying it to this Thanksgiving shit? Like, they took this land from the indigenous people and they're ha-haing it every year. And people are participating in that same ritual. Fuck Thanksgiving. They just took the food. They took the link. And then y'all notice how these shops sitting here giving out vouchers or for the low of the stuff that we put in our food for Thanksgiving. They still want you to participate in this same ritual, but they're taking snap. They say, hey, I know we took y'all shit, but we kind of need y'all energy a little bit. We need y'all to participate. So I'm just giving you this little shit off the top. Remember what Thanksgiving is? It was the day they took the land from the indigenous people. Y'all are so fucking brainwashed. Fuck Thanksgiving. Like, just think about the gluttony that surrounds Thanksgiving. Do y'all think about that stuff? Like, y'all are sitting around the table giving thanks to a source that took this land from somebody else.
Actually, I was just saying I was thankful for my family and stuff like that. Now, I will say this. I won't say there's not truth to stuff that she's saying. I will say this, though, following that. I remember hearing about how the Bible talked about Thanksgiving being Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all that being paganistic and things of that nature. But I'll be honest by saying I got to do some more brushing up on that knowledge. However, I do love the fact that I have God-fearing followers. So if y'all want to educate me in the comments section, help your boy out.
Somebody else. From somebody else. Do y'all pay attention to stuff like that? Or am I thinking too deep? Am I thinking too hard? But y'all got to think about that. Like, I was watching Rick and Morty and they was like, Thanksgiving is basically America's birthday. 100%. We're giving thanks to a source that took something from somebody else. Sitting around a table with gluttony. Are we not all sinning? Let me not say we, because I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. But y'all know what I'm saying? Put no thanks. No thanks. That's what we need to start saying as a collective. No thanks.
Oh, man, I guarantee you she getting plays on Thanksgiving. Don't she don't celebrate it. She said Thanksgiving's pagan. Then quoted Rick and Morty like it's the Bible. Ma'am, I'll just say this. Mashed potatoes aren't spiritual warfare, all right? I'll leave it at that. Then this cowboy showed up to explain welfare like it's National Geographic.
You know what happens when you stop feeding the squirrels and stop feeding the ducks and stop hand feeding the monkeys in the zoo? You know what happens? They get violent. Yeah, they get violent. They start chasing people and they start showing extreme signs of aggression. And you know why that is? Well, it's a sense of entitlement because you became the person they depended on for food. So instead of saying, you know what, maybe we should go back to using our predatory instincts and hunting and getting jobs and things like that, they decide to get very angry at the person that they feel is supposed to take care of them. Therefore, they have this thing called entitlement, and they feel like they are entitled to that food. So every time they see you, they go out there and they destroy things and protest and loot and vandalize things and get angry and aggressive, because it's your job to take care of them. You see, animals, they've had these instincts over a long period of time where they can go out there and they can hunt and they can use their brain, their intellect, their wisdom. And this stuff is just stuff that has been programmed into them. And what happens is that when you give them stuff for free, they no longer have to use their brains anymore. They no longer have to translate information. They no longer have to think independently. They no longer have to even look up at the weather and see what is going on with the weather, because they are solely dependent on you. And that is exactly how our government is working in these situations. And that's why you're seeing people get so angry, is because they feel like they're entitled to these benefits. They should have them. We should be given this stuff. And we're not talking about, the individuals who are sick. We're not talking about the elderly. We're talking about the people who are capable of doing things. They have literally decreased their intelligence because they are hooked on the benefits. That's what's happened in our government. And so they will do anything that the Democrats tell them to do because they were hooked on those benefits and they were hooked on being fed and they feel entitled to those benefits instead of advancing themselves like culturally we have done over the centuries. Instead of that kind of stuff, instead of, focusing on being self-motivated and ambitious, they don't do that anymore. It's just, hey, what can you give me? It's not what all I can do for my country. It's what my country can do for me because I'm entitled to all of it. No sacrifice, no anything. Just give me everything because I deserve it.
Oh man, Cowboy compares people on welfare to zoo animals losing instincts. He said, when you stop feeding the ducks, they become violent. What I'll say is, bro, the ducks ain't the problem. It's Congress throwing the big breadcrumbs. And just when you thought we were done with the 7 kids saga.
Okay, you guys, yes. I am a mother of 7 kids. 7 kids. I had my first child at 14 years old. Yes, I had my first child at 14 years old. I do not regret it. He is well, healthy, and he's 19 right now. God, praise God. Yes, you guys, I have 7 kids, 7 different baby daddies. Yeah, 7 different baby daddies. I heard it. You heard it right here. 7 different baby daddies, 7 kids. Had my first child at age 14. Yes, and I do receive $3,000 in EBT food stamps. Yes. We are so happy. We are so blessed. We are very thankful. Yes, we are happy where we're at in life right now. We are happy. Yes, we are happy. Yes. Like I said, it's going to be haters. People going to be jealous and all that. Y'all can keep y'all little comments. But at the end of the day, my kids are taken care of.
Woman brags about $3,000 in EBT with 7 baby daddies. $3,000 in stamps? Man. It's not EBT, that's EBT&T. That's what that is. You can start a telecom company. Somebody's definitely swiping steaks with shrimp size. And now here comes the Newsmax math.
There are 42 million people in this country that need food stamps on a weekly basis. And we're saying people deliberately instead of Americans because most of the people that are on food stamps aren't even from this country. 45% of Afghanistan immigrants are on food stamps. 42% of Somali immigrants, 34% of every immigrant from Iraq, 23% of Haitians, 59% of all illegal aliens are collecting food stamps, meaning that most of the people getting food stamps from the U.S. government and the U.S. taxpayer are not even Americans. Think about that. And we didn't know about any of this before the government shutdown started, but thanks to Democrats, we can confirm tonight that millions of Joe Biden illegal aliens, people who crossed the border when Joe was president, are now collecting food stamps from a program funded by hardworking American taxpayers. There are 42 million people.
That's insane. Wow. That percentage of illegals getting benefits? I mean, I'm not at all surprised, though, when you really think about what took place with the previous administration. They were giving them everything. I mean, everything. But to know that most of it is not even benefiting the American people, that's a different level of FU. And finally, my personal favorite conspiracy, the food stamp revolution.
There's just something utterly bizarre about food stamps not coming in November. There's something utterly insane about it that I can't get my finger wrapped around. I mean, this has got to be an extreme shock to the system, right? This is so heartless. And I'm just trying to get my head wrapped around what the point of it is, you know? And, you know, after watching a couple of creators and trying to put my 2 cents together, ultimately, it seems like the ultimate goal is the Insurrection Act still. But I thought that was going to be invoked during the No King's Day protest. It wasn't. So it's like they're really upping the score. They're really turning up the heat and the pressure, trying to get people to react in a type of way that will get people like me and other people who might not fully be paying attention to consent to more aggressive policies. Because the Trump administration would have put maybe the worst case scenario of one person going absolutely mad because they haven't eaten food, because he cut the programs that were holding that person and their family afloat. So they got desperate. It's going to make people act out. They're saying that the crime is going to rise because of people's lack of access to not just food, but resources altogether, healthcare, medication. They're going to take that footage. They're going to broadcast it all over Facebook, all over Instagram, all over TikTok, all over our feed so we can't see it. So then we can start to feel that, wow, things really are getting bad. Even if we know that Trump is the one doing it, when we start physically seeing people act like a human that is trying to survive, when we see people take matters into their own hands, when we see that, even though we know that it's him, not him, but Trump, even though we know that it's Trump, we're still going to be like, oh, well, this is bad. This is dangerous. Someone needs to do something. That's the consent. That's the consent. That's the manufactured consent part of it. That's it. That's it. That's it. He just needs people to get crazy enough for other people to feel unsafe. He needs the most vulnerable population to get so unbelievably desperate that the people who are middle class, who are just making it, who need to support him, can't support him, right? Once again, this is just a way to divide the masses. You got the people who are better off than others versus the people who never had shit, and then the people who's controlling it all, trying to get all of us to accept his aggressive policies. Now we look at what's going on in Argentina, right? A lot of Nazis in Argentina. He's been blowing up. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, wait, no. Yeah, Argentina. He gave $20 billion, $30, $40 billion to Argentina. No MAGA, no nothing. Quiet. Before, it was no money to Israel, no money to Ukraine, but Argentina can get it. Okay. He's blowing up ships in Venezuela and sending warships to Venezuela. And he's starving people here. These are not loosely fitted random attacks from an administration that doesn't know what they're doing here. I mean, Trump doesn't know what he's doing. He just doesn't want to go to jail, right? But Palantir, Stephen Miller, Steve Bannon, all of them, they know what's going on. These three things are not loosey-goosey. And even Israel breaking the ceasefire deal. I don't think they ever respected it. Again, recently. These are not all disjointed things. One day, they're all going to hit at once. And, I mean, I was just saying, soon we'll be knowing what Jim Crow was like in this country in a few weeks. And I don't know, I felt like I was just chatting, but look, if I was to guess,
come on.
Right? People go crazy. He invokes the Insurrection Act, martial law, and then he gets to do what he's been wanting. He wants to lock up people. He wants to put them to work. He wants people on the street, troops in houses, and he wants war at home to make people desperate so that when he starts the war in Venezuela, well, that's going to be our only means to eat. We're not going to have a job. We're not going to have these things. We're going to be desperate and easier to control. So then he'll send more people to Venezuela to basically do to, and this was a take that I heard from another creator, but basically due to South America, what Europe is doing to Africa. He wants to get his own kind of party started there. And with the whole Argentina thing, I mean, I don't know, maybe he's going to flee after. I'm shooting in the dark here, but I think at the very least, they turned up the heat. It's getting a little too hot in this pot.
So, his theory is cut off food stamps, people riot, Trump declares martial law, boom, dictatorship. My brother, if food stamps could overthrow the government, Popeyes would have been a Pentagon. I'm just saying. Anyway, half this country is blaming the government. The other half is blaming the grocery store. The truth is, nobody's reading the fine print. Feed kids. Stop all that flexing. Feed the kids. And maybe, just maybe, don't film a documentary from a checkout line. Matter of fact, if you made it to the end of this video, the word or phrase rather is going to be checkout line. Thank y'all so much for making it. If you I can't even remember my slogan. Just be safe today. Go check on a friend. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.